Hi, I'm Evan Johnson, and this is my video journal number 1 for the Bacchae. I'm just going to go question by question. I have my phone open here to the questions, but I don't have pre-written thoughts, so I'm just going to go ahead here. So question 1 was, what did I notice, and what about the play was interesting, strange, revealing, or meaningful? So I grew up in a background loving Greek mythology, and when I learned about Dionysus, I actually thought he was just the god of wine, but I found it interesting to find out that in the book, or possibly in real Greek mythology as well, he's tied to the idea of seducing women and tricking them using alcohol and apparently mind-bending powers, whatever he has exactly. So I thought that played obviously a huge role in the plot of the play, because he had to have that power to seduce all these people and to drive them mad in the way that he did. What values are being represented? I would say family first of all, and secondly, wrath, anger, revenge. Those three in one, where obviously you see that Dionysus feels disrespected by both Pentheus and most of his direct family, whereas his mother believed that he was a god. Zeus obviously knows that Dionysus is half god, and Cadmus knows that he's a god. But anyway, the entire plot of the story was Dionysus going on a revenge trip against Pentheus and the rest of his family in the city of Thebes. The other, obviously, I said was family, and the divide between the family that believed Dionysus was a god and those who didn't was really split right down the middle, and you could tell easily who Dionysus trusted and believed and who he was out to get. Question 3, what was something that I circled while reading the play and that I didn't understand? So the word diarsis, I had no idea what that meant. It was probably in the index, but I looked it up to find that it was a giant fennel. So picture a staff held in the right hand that was a very long plant with the tip of the plant at the end. But that really brought together the idea that Dionysus was a god that was very in tune with nature, and his followers were as well. Question 4, discuss how the Maenads are depicted. They are depicted as dressing very conservatively and dancing in nature and being mad with this affection for Bacchus or Dionysus. And Pentheus sees the Maenads as women that should be brought back into the city and used as slaves, which he actually states directly. He says that they should be brought back and sold away as slaves, I believe. Question 5, does the cover of the Dover edition, which I read, I had to look this up because I wasn't positive, but I knew that Elvis had a reputation of being very immoral at the time, and that his actions were very sexual, and they got women kind of going crazy, and that's why he's used in the cover of this book, because he and Dionysus have this very similar ability to entrance women, and they become his almost completely dedicated followers. So I thought he was a very good allusion to the plot of the play. And then question 6, asked 2 of my own questions. So I would like to know the historical significance of both of the 2 mountains that were discussed, and whether or not they were really had anything to do with any of the other gods, or whether they were just significant when it came to the island of Thebes itself. And then my second would be, I want to know, okay, so I want to know what the actual religion that's central to the story is. So not Greek like mythology itself, but obviously if they didn't believe in Dionysus, then what did they believe in? Because that is a big part of Greek mythology as a whole. So I don't know if that was really just kind of a parable about the power of Dionysus, or whether or not they're representing Greek mythology as being only partial and not whole during this time period, and they're adding in the story of Dionysus throughout this book. So that's all.